Well, what is up, my pals? Sunday, December 17th, and last Sunday, I didn't do a weekly roundup, some updates about season 2 of The Last of Us. I'm always excited for anything about to do with The Last of Us, and some other updates on other games and some new adaptations being announced, which we're going to get into after the intro. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. It would help me out. All right, we're just gonna get right into with The Last of Us season 2, and it's reportedly that Abby has been cast, and Caitlin Dever is supposedly landed the role. I reported on this before, and it seems like her name keeps coming up, but it still hasn't been officially announced. But to keep hearing her name, and because Craig Mazin started following her on Instagram or something, which is apparently a way that people determine whether news is right or not. I guess that means something because I think the same thing kind of happened with Bella Ramsey. He started following her, and then she got the role of Abby. Ellie. It's also interesting to note that Caitlin Dever actually read for Ellie, and she actually looks a lot more like Ellie than Bella Ramsey did. But Bella did an amazing job, and she got nominated for an Emmy, so that's impressive as hell. EarlyGameNews.com. The question of who's going to play Abby on HBO has been keeping fans up all night. Yeah, I don't know about that. Not me. Abby has been fan cast countless times. Me personally, I was a fan of Florence Pugh, but no chance for that. Abby has been fan cast countless times, but according to some leaks, the decision has been made. Caitlin Dever, sorry, I don't know if it's Dever or Dever, supposedly takes on the role of Abby. Known leaker Daniel Reichman, Daniel RPK on Twitter, has claimed that Caitlin Dever took the part of Abby and is backed up by his colleague Jeff Snyder. These are two leakers that have inside information. Dever getting the part makes sense on more levels than people give her credit for. Well, let's start from the top. Showrunners Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann have both refrained in the past from sharing too much when it comes to The Last of Us. There is no official statement if Caitlin Dever has been cast as Abby so far. At this point, Dever as Abby is nothing more than a rumor. It still makes sense, though, contrary to popular belief. Online, most people, mostly people, uh, online people mostly demand for her to be better bulk up to fit Abby's physique from the game, while other people have been complaining about exactly that for years at this point, crying about how impossible it would be to keep that kind of muscle in the apocalypse. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not sure about that one. I mean, you got to do a lot of stuff to stay alive during the apocalypse, so I don't know. There's no reason why you can't be bigger. Maybe she steals food. I don't know. So that was always kind of the big complaint. As you can see, there was a recent picture of her at some fashion event. There was some recent picture of her at a fashion event where she didn't look like she was bulking up at all, if she got the role or not. But I mean, it could be potentially that they're not going to do that. Then she's essentially, because I'm pretty sure these two, her and Bella, are probably the same size in real life, roughly. So it could be some kind of thing about them making them equals. Right here in this picture, she looks a lot like Ellie from the game, like a lot. But from the first game, the second game, she's a lot more. Others are complaining that she looks more like Ellie than Abby. True, which is apparently enough reason to already be mad at the casting choice. That's basically the same treatment Bella Ramsey received. Of course, there's a lot of noise about Bella being cast, but we all know that in the end that worked out. So chances are the Last of Us community may just have a hard time trusting the showrunners or reconsidering opinions. I mean, considering how amazing the first season was, I don't know how you could still not trust the showrunners. They clearly know what they're doing. I mean, one of them is the creator of the game, so whoever takes the role will most likely face some hard times. At least that's what Laura Bailey, who played Abby in the game, had to go through after you know what happened. Literal death threats to an actress. What the hell is wrong with these people? That's true. To this day, Last of Us Part 2 is pretty controversial topic, and chances are live action Abby will have to take some blows as well. And it's going to be hard to talk about season 2 without spoiling anything, but I really think it's important to not spoil anything for the people who don't know the games, because season 2 is going to blow their minds. Why Deaver might just be the right choice for Abby. Not only has Deaver actually auditioned for Ellie and got quite far in the process before Ramsey booked the part, and is obviously familiar with The Last of Us. What does that mean? Obviously. Well, I guess she knows because she whatever. She has worked with Naughty Dog before. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Even though it was just a small role, Deborah played Cassie in the epilogue of Uncharted 4, so she's got her connections to Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog. I think Cassie was Nate's daughter or something. Other than that, show Abby probably won't be the mirror image of game Abby anyways. Just like Ellie got some minor changes to her character, making her a little softer than in the game, where her physique was also an important part of gameplay, a factor that HBO can completely ignore. May just make the audience more inclined to give her a chance and not write her off as the villain. Yeah, again, knowing exactly what happens in 2 as I play 2, that does make a lot of sense. And yeah, that makes sense because in season 2, they're going to want people to root for Abby as well. Again, you'd have to play Last of Us 2 to know what I'm talking about. It's like I'm so excited for the show, season 2 to come out, to see how people react about what I know is going to happen in game 2. But I'm also curious to see how they're going to go beyond 2 seasons, unless they're going to split up game 2 into 2 seasons, or they're just going to start making up stuff like Game of Thrones did. Who knows? Still, just from a practical standpoint, Deaver might just also be the right choice. She's just a little bit taller than Ramsey, which could make filming way easier and make Ellie and Abby seem more like what they are, two coins of the same metal. Time will tell what happens. I think she's a pretty good choice. Making someone who's basically a physical equal to Ellie makes more sense to me. Moving on, over here on Horror News Network, A24 boards film adaptation of Death Stranding video game. I'm not sure. I feel like this might have been announced before, but we got some updates. This is from the 16th of December. A24, the studio behind such genre hits as Midsummer, Hereditary, and The Witch, is now teaming up with Kojima Productions to bring his popular Death Stranding video game to the big screen, according to a report on Deadline. The live-action feature adaptation, which does not yet have a director or screenwriter in place, was in development with Hammerstone Studios last year. Yes, I feel like I have reported on that before, or at least read about it. Plot details have yet to be revealed, but it's believed the game will introduce new elements and characters within the Death Stranding universe. The video game released in 2019 for PlayStation 4 is set in the US following a cataclysmic event that caused destructive creatures to start roaming the earth. Players control Sam Porter Bridges, voiced and played by Norman Reedus, a courier who must supply supplies to isolated colonies and reconnect them via a wireless communication network. The game also boosts the voice talents of Mads Mikkelsen, Lea Seydoux, Margot Qualley, Troy Baker, Tommy Earl Jones, Jenkins, and Lindsay Wagner. In addition to the likeness of filmmakers Guillermo del Toro and Nicholas Winding. I didn't know he was in this. That's weird. Nicholas Winding Refn. I haven't seen much from him lately. So not really the hugest update other than an announcement about it happening. Interesting they don't have a screenwriter yet. It's surprising that Kojima just isn't writing and directing it because he wants to be. I'm surprised in general that Kojima hasn't directed a movie because his games, more than any other developer in the entire industry, are like movies. Maybe other than like The Last of Us, but his games are always very cinematic. So to me, it's kind of surprising that he hasn't directed a movie yet, unless he has, and I just don't know. So in the world of adaptations from TV to games, a video game adaptation of Squid Game is happening, but details are sparse. This is a show on Netflix that I've never seen, Squid Game, but it got kind of popular during the pandemic. You know, some shows just kind of blew up more than they probably would have normally without the pandemic during it. First off, this is coming from comicbook.com. Netflix has announced that it's working on a video game tied to its mega popular TV series Squid Game. Also, if you hear any music in the background, it's because I have Baldur's Gate 3 on pause. I've been playing that game for like a week straight now, pretty much. So much so, in fact, since first coming onto the scene back in 2021, Squid Game has become a cultural phenomenon. So much so, in fact, that Netflix ended up greenlighting the show for season 2 in 2022 and later released a reality series based on the properly titled Squid Game The Challenge this past month. Now, as a way of further entrenching Squid Game in popular culture, a video game associated with the show is being created. As mentioned in a new post on Netflix's official website today, Make Verdu, the VP of Netflix Games, confirmed that a video game adaptation of Squid Game is in development. Details of the new Squid Game are very sparse for the time being, as Netflix has currently only described it as a game set in the universe of Squid Game, where players are able to compete with other players in games from the hit series. The launch window for this game is yet to be provided, nor has Netflix said which platforms it will be coming to. I could see a game like that being like an online service game or some type of multi. I mean, if you're going to play with other players, it makes sense. Although the idea of a Squid Game video game might be very exciting, there's a good chance that this project will end up being smaller in scope than what many fans might initially envision. Netflix Games has primarily looked at titles. Netflix Games has primarily looked to create titles for mobile devices, as most of its offerings are playable mainly across tablets and phones. There's actually the Turtles game, which is also on Game Pass, or was. That's like the classic Turtles in Time. That's actually pretty good on the Netflix app that I played. As such, this Squid Game title surely won't be anything that would be considered AAA nature. Other than Squid Game, Netflix also confirmed that it has a variety of other titles slated to come to the platform's gaming vertical in the months ahead. Some of these games include Haze, Sonic Mania, plus Braid? Already game. Braid Anniversary Edition, Katana Zero, Monument Valley 1 and 2. Beyond this, a game based on Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. It's also said to be developed and described as a 4-player co-op action game. Specifics tied to these titles will be hitting Netflix. Haven't yet been provided, but we should learn more in a year. Yeah, it makes sense that they would make games based on their own properties. I mean, why not? They can make an entire business from just that. I'm sure they're going to keep doing that with other shows, but we'll see what happens with that. Over here on Screen Rant, some update about Super Mario Bros. 2 Movie 2. The Super Mario Bros. Movie gets disappointing update from Jack Black despite 1.36 billion success. So far, Jack Black reveals there's been no news about a sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Movie since its release. Black is hopeful to return for the sequel. And pitches the idea of Bowser's Revenge as the subtitle. The delay in announcing the sequel may be due to the previous WGA and SAG after strikes and Nintendo's focus on the live-action Legend of Zelda. Despite the movie's blockbuster success, Jack Black has a disappointing update to the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2. Black starred in the 2023 adaptation of the Nintendo video game franchise as Bowser, the titular plumber, iconic arch-enemy who is out on a quest to conquer the Mushroom Kingdom and marry Princess. Though scoring mixed reviews from critics, the Super Mario Bros. Movie was a box office smash, currently sitting as the second highest grossing movie of 2023 behind Barbie, with over 1.36 billion gross worldwide. It's kind of nuts that Barbie is still the highest grossing film of the year, but also interesting. During a recent interview with Variety, Black was asked for an update on the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The star revealed that he's encountered radio silence in the near year since the first movie came out, but remains hopeful to get to return for the animated sequel and even pitching his own idea for what the subtitle should be for the next. See what Black said below. There's been radio silence. The only chatter has been coming from me, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to chatter. Yeah, he's kind of a big mouth, because I remember watching him in interviews about the movie, and he was kind of dropping spoilers by accident. Even some of his co-casts were kind of like, dude, like, keep it quiet. I've been chomping at the bit to get back to business. I'm pitching the title Bowser's Revenge. I think it would be a full musical, like what Todd Phillips was supposedly doing with Joker 2. Yeah, you'd love that, wouldn't you? I wouldn't. I'd hate it. Why Super Mario Bros. 2 hasn't been announced yet? Well, before the movie was released, talks had swirled of a potential Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 with President Nintendo Shuntaro Furukawa confirming the publisher's interest in producing a sequel should the first movie prove successful. Rumors also swirled of a spin-off centered on Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong, having already been in development, though no official reports have been confirmed this to be true. Though I personally have heard rumors of their Nintendo creating their own universe, which would make sense that the next movie wouldn't be a Mario movie, it'd be either Zelda or Donkey Kong. So now it's a case of whatever gets announced or made first. Though no official reports have confirmed this to be true, following the movie's box office success, Nintendo confirmed they were planning to develop more adaptations of their properties, though it didn't directly confirm the Super Mario sequel. While it was a box office hit, there are a number of reasons why the sequel has yet to be confirmed by Nintendo, Universal, or Illumination. Chris Pratt previously indicated in mid-2023 that there would be news in the follow-up in the near future, but that the then ongoing Writers Guild of America strike had put development on hold. Additionally, with the first movie garnering mixed reviews, falling just shy of a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes with 59% score from critics, the publisher is likely wanting to take some extra time to determine what worked and what didn't in the original and how they can improve for the sequel. The other likely reason why the Super Mario Bros. Movie has yet to be announced by Nintendo is their current focus on the recently announced Legend of Zelda movie adaptation. Given part of the reason the 2023 movie took a long time to make was Nintendo's reluctance to allow any adaptations of their properties. It seems likely that they would want to ensure they're devoting proper oversight to the Link-focused movie to ensure it lives up to their expectations, before also moving forward with the animated sequel. However, with the cast clearly eager to continue the franchise, it seems likely 2024 will bring the announcement of the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 development. So in other award news, Golden Globe nominations have been announced, and Golden Globes, of course, includes movies and TV. Again, which is, pretty amazing that this new adaptation comes out and it's getting nominated for all these awards. To be honest, I'm not going to read this whole article because it's about a whole bunch of stuff that isn't really related to what I want to talk about. All right, over here under Best Motion Picture Animated, we can see our first nomination is Super Mario Bros. Movie, and I could see that winning. I don't know, I think it might be down to Spider-Man and Super Mario Bros., but, I think Elemental didn't do as well as Walt Disney was hoping. Kind of like their theme this year, they're just not doing as big as they used to. Television. All right, this is where we're trying to get to. All right, here we go. First nomination, Best Television Series Drama, Last of Us. Here we go. Netflix has 2 nominations. Max has 2. Apple TV Plus. The morning show, I watched the first season, but I fell off the second season because it got way less interesting. Here we go. Best Performance by Female Actor in Television Series, Bella Ramsey, Lastofus. Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Drama Series, Pedropascal. So they both got nominated for Golden Globes, and they also got nominated for Emmys. So that's pretty sick. Right, so even at the bottom of this thing, Deadline has a scorecard list of who has the most nominations and whatnot. On this list right here, Last of Us has 3. So that's Best Drama Series, Best Lead Actress, and Lead Actor. So that's pretty sweet. Those are like the 3 big categories for TV. So we'll have to wait till January 7th, 2024 at the Beverly Hilton to air live on CBS and Paramount Plus to see who actually will win. I'd check this one out just to see how The Last of Us does. I'm not sure who's hosting. It's probably not going to be Ricky Gervais anymore because they're just so sick of him calling out Hollywood, even though it's super funny. So we'll find out on January 7th how The Last of Us does in the Golden Globes. Alrighty, my peoples. Well, that's it for this week of December. Alright, people. Well, that's all the video game adaptation news for the week of December 11th to December 7th. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But also, don't forget, take a moment to comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to take a moment to hit the little bell icon so you can immediately watch all the amazing videos I release. So yeah, take a moment to comment and let me know what you think about any of these news pieces. But don't forget, also yourself. Peace out. And as always, don't forget, keep gaming.